Welcome to Bear Lake High School. It's time for softball. As the Bear Lake Bears set to take on Teton. We brought you the baseball game yesterday. When we went off the air for the baseball game yesterday, softball team was leading in Preston. Well, they finished that game off. They won it 11-6 to defeat the Preston Indians. And so the Bear Lake Bears moved to 4-0 in district play on the season. 6-8 overall, 4-0 in district play. As the Bears in a great position as the number one team at the end of the regular season host the district tournament, and the Bears stand all alone in first place now at 4-0. Everybody else has at least one loss because the Bear Lake Bears have beat everybody else. So sorry I'm a little bit out of breath. We did a ceremonial first pitch, honored Candy Eborn and Lisa James, who ran summer ball tournaments for about 15 years.
Yeah.
I said 120 years when I introduced them.
It was at least that.
Lisa claims she's not that old. But for 15 years. And Candy has chalked more fields than probably any other human alive. During those summer tournaments. They did so much over the years for the youth programs of the Valley. So Coach Pope decided they'd be some good people to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. We're probably going to be doing that maybe not every single game, but a lot of games for both baseball and softball for the rest of the season. As throwing out the first pitch is something they do in the majors. It's a way of honoring somebody that's given back to the community or the program. And those two were great ones to start it off. The team gave them a signed softball and some flowers to say thank you for all they do. So. And apparently Teton thought the game started at 4 o'clock. As we were doing the first pitch, she turned and said, "Hey, this starts at 4, doesn't it?" We're like, "No, it starts at 3:30, so they're kind of scrambling. But we're ready for some softball." As the umpires are at home plate, waiting for the teams to come out, and we're going to get going. I'm trying to see.
Have you got your lineups
if I have battery on this iPad. And I'm going to say this charging cord doesn't work, so good thing I brought a backup, because that's what we do.
Do you even have lineups?
No. I've been busy being grandpa and being a slacker, so we'll get it as we go. As the Bear Lake Bears set to take on Teton. It is an absolutely perfect day for softball. Could not ask for anything better than what we've got. We're out here in left field, which is where I live my life, is left field.
Looks like we're going to do
They are going to do now they've done the player introductions with the umpires, we're going to do the national anthem. And then we'll get this started. A little bit of a breeze, which is actually a good thing on a day like this. Otherwise, it'd almost be too hot. And I don't know if you can hear the national anthem playing.
Probably not.
That needs to be the next thing we do here in Bear Lake, is get a new sound system for the crow's nest down here. All right. Gerald Christensen and Roger Kuntz, the umpires for today's game. Quinn Pope, the head coach of the Bear Lake Bears, with Samantha Goodmanson and Casey Humphreys, the other two coaches. And this is the first home game of the year. If you remember 2 years ago, the first home game didn't happen till May, and we were out here with a bunch of snow removal equipment to get that game in. If it wouldn't have been for the snow removal, we wouldn't have played last year on our home field, 2 years ago, I should say, on our home field. And this year, we're out here without having to do any extra work on April 10th, and it could not be better.
Yeah, it's beautiful out here today. Loving the sunshine.
All right. Just waiting for the teams to take the field, and we'll tell you who's playing where for the Bear Lake Bears. Get you the lineup as they go. Bear Lake in their, they got black uniforms with blue numerals, blue shoulders, and black pants. It looks like Lindsay Fisher is going to be the pitcher for the Bear Lake Bears. And behind the plate will be Abby Humphreys. Looks like that's Abby out there behind the plate. Look around for Romrell. Yep, Romrell's going to be the third baseman, so Humphreys will be the catcher. Those are the two that usually catch, and when they're not catching, they play third base. So it looks like Romrell will be on third base. Morgan Armstrong, who puts the short and shortstop, will be the shortstop today. I'm sure she'll be the leadoff hitter. And they say dynamite comes in small packages. Morgan, one heck of an athlete, and she will be the shortstop. Second base is Bentley Price for the Bear Lake Bears, and first base over there, Callie Beard, playing first base for the Bears. In center field, it's going to be Brooklyn Pope, BP, will be the center fielder. The right fielder, Taylin DeClark. And the left fielder is Peyton Crockett. And batting first for Teton will be Kincaid. Will be the first Teton batter as we get set to go.
It has been beautiful all day, and now the wind's going to start.
As soon as we put our microphones on, the wind starts.
Oh.
Kincaid batting from the left side today. When she gets out onto the field, she will be the pitcher. So the pitcher is the batter. She lays down a slap bunt. It's going to stay fair, and no play.
She is speedy.
So
That's why she slaps, because she's fast, right?
Yep. It's kind of a swinging bunt as a slapper, and it goes for a single down the third baseline. And the next batter will be Webster from the right side. She takes a strike, and the throw to second not in time. So a called strike and a stolen base.
That should be a good indication right off the bat. They're going to be aggressive runners.
They've got a pretty good record on the season. They sit ranked number 6 and a ball on that one, just low. And
great job by the Bear Lake catcher to hold her at bay there.
Keeps Kincaid at second. And she takes an aggressive lead.
Very aggressive lead, halfway down the baseline.
Abby Humphrey's a great catcher back there. She comes up aggressively and is keeping her back on the base. But if that ball's bobbled at all, I'm sure she'll be at third, and I'm sure she'll score on any kind of base hit.
Yeah.
Here is a foul ball. So 2-2 count, 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner at second in Kincaid. And
I forgot I was supposed to be pushing buttons. Sorry. I've been talking, not pushing buttons.
Coach Pope runs Lindsay Fisher's armband out there. I don't know how they were calling pitchers. She didn't have her armband on. So 2-2 count. And it's ball 3, and Kincaid stills. And that was a good throw, just not in time, as Kincaid got a good jump. It was an off-speed pitch, and it took a while to get there. By the time it got there and Humphreys came up out of her stance and made the throw, Kincaid stole third. Here's the payoff pitch. It's past her, ball 4, and a run will score. So the wild pitch leads to a run. And just like that, Teton is on the board first with a stolen base. A couple stolen bases mixed with a walk. Eiden, E-I-D-E-N, is the batter now. She squares to bunt, nothing there. Here's the throw on the steal, not in time. That was a good throw, good tag, but just a little bit better jump and another stolen base. So ball 1 and a stolen base for Webster. And again, Eiden from the left side. She pops this one up easy for Romrell. And there is out number 1. Romrell only had to move about 1 step. And that brings Hansen to the plate. For Teton, back on the right side with 1 out, runner at second. Here's the pitch.
Oh,
called
pretty.
strike, nice pitch. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, 1 in. With the runner at second. Here's the pitch. High. And Humphreys went to pump fake the throw, and she dropped the ball, and so the stolen base. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out, but now the runner is at third. Webster had a big jump. Humphreys pump fake to try to get her to go back, and when she did so, the ball slipped out of her hand and just trickled down the third baseline. So Webster easy steal. Fisher comes to the plate, and it's a foul ball. Hit her while she was still in the batter's box, so it's a foul ball. Spun into fair territory, but because it hit her, it's automatically a foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at third. But with that runner down at third, now a passed ball or even a ground ball out scores a run. Fisher comes to the plate. It's another foul ball. Fooled her on that one. That was a changeup on the outside corner, and she just barely got a piece of it to avoid the strikeout. So still 1 ball, 2 strike count. Hansen the batter, Webster the runner at third. And that's going to be a home run right over our heads. Yeah, that ball off the bat, I could tell it was gone. It went right over our heads. We had a great angle at it. And that makes it 3-0. Hansen and Ray.
Ray should have had
almost
a mitt
had
on.
to defend the camera there. If he'd had a mitt on, he could have got the out. So that brings Williamson to the plate now. Base is empty. 1 out. 3 runs in already on the 2-run home run by Hansen. Here's the pitch from Fisher. Nice pitch, called strike. Fisher hasn't thrown very many balls in this game. She did have the 1 full count. And here's a little pop fly. Foul ball down the first baseline, out of play. DeClark runs over there and grabs it and chucks it in. Strike 2, 0-2 is the count now. Number 5 batter in the lineup, Williamson, at the plate. 0-2 count with nobody on. Low for ball one. And that one misses for ball two. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. That first one was one you take. That second one, that was close enough. If I'm a batter of 2 strikes, I probably would have offered at that. But Williamson kept the bat on her shoulder, and it's 2-2. And now it's 3-2. So after falling behind 0-2, she's now worked the count full. And here's the payoff pitch with 1 out and nobody on. And she's going to force the ground ball into foul territory.
She likes them on the lower side of the strike zone.
Yeah.
That's where I'd pitch it. In fact, a good old change-up, drop ball, something right here would be really nice.
Here we go again, 3-2 pitch.
Yep.
And it's strike 3, but it was a drop third strike, and it gets past the first baseman. So Williamson will strike out and end up at second. And it was exactly what you said.
She swung at the low ones. She liked them down there. And he was calling them strikes down there, so rightly so.
So
that would have been more about my strike zone. That looked a little low for her.
All right. So the strikeout turns into a double, and then she steals third. That pitch was just a little bit low and in the dirt, and Williamson very aggressive all the way. She ends up third. Wambacher, the batter that took ball one, and she's going to foul this one off. So these Teton girls run. They do not hesitate. That was that ball that got Williamson there to third trickled about 6 inches away from Humphreys is all, but because Williamson didn't hesitate, even with a good throw, she made it to third safely. Wambacher, the hitter. Ooh, I don't know how she laid off.
I like the look of that one.
She went into her windup, but she was able to hold off. And it's ball 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at third, 3 runs in already in the inning. Here's the pitch. That's high. 3-1 count now. Fisher set to come to the plate. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. So the Bears had a chance to get the second out of the inning on the strikeout as Wambacher rounds first and goes all the way to second.
Yep.
And because there was runner at third, Bears chose not to throw at her.
I'm actually surprised that more teams don't do that.
Ground ball back to the pitcher. It's going to score a run.
They do get the second out on that.
So on the first pitch, swinging, ground ball right back to the pitcher. Fisher makes the great play over to Beard in time, but Williamson scores. Wambacher to third. And I missed that pitch.
Ball.
Ball? Yep. And this is Hatch. No, sorry, Strong is the batter.
Oh, yeah, that one looked good. Strike 1.
Make it Hatch. I was wrong. It was Strong that grounded out. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at third. Already 4 runs in the inning. And there's a line drive. It's going to be a single to left. That will score a run. And that drop third strike is becoming bigger and bigger. Bears would have got out of the inning with only the 3 runs scoring. Now 5 runs have scored, and there is a runner at first. And Chavez is the batter. She will be playing center field when they come to the plate.
Pretty pitch.
Called strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Fisher gets set to come to the plate. And swing and a miss for strike 2. So they've already batted around. The batter on deck will be the leadoff hitter, Kincaid, if the Bears can't get the 3rd out right here. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, center field. Pope is under that one for out number 3. But not before they score 5. Couple errors mixed in with a couple hits. And the Bears come
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrug.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
5-0 entering the bottom of the 1st inning as the Teton, I want to say Red Wolves.
Yeah, we should probably look that up.
We'll just call them Teton. Teton came to the plate and put up 5 runs. And the Bear Lake Bears already trail it by a score of 5-0. Coming to the plate first will be Morgan Armstrong. Armstrong starting as the shortstop today. And she takes ball 1. Kincaid, the leadoff hitter for them. Pitches and just missed foul down the left field line. That would have been a double, most likely, for Armstrong with her speed and right down the baseline. But it goes foul. So 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out, nobody on. Bears trailing 5-0.
Teton Timberwolves.
I knew it was something like that. They changed
kind of a wolf.
They changed their roster. They changed their mascot a couple years ago. They went away. They used to be the Indians.
The Redskins.
Or the Redskins, Teton Redskins, and they went away from that. And I forgot what they changed it to. That one's low. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. And that one, Armstrong was on it and drilled it hard, but it was a foul ball down the 3rd baseline. And Armstrong gets one of those runs right back. Oh, no, it hits the fence. She'll just have to trot in for a double.
Well, I thought that was going over the fence. It just tipped the top. Bounced back in.
Right off. Hit the yellow on the top of the fence. She missed a home run by 6 inches maybe.
Beautiful hit.
But she'll still get the double, the lead-off double. And that'll bring, is that Romero at the plate?
I don't know. Can't tell.
Yes, it is. And a swing and a miss from her. far enough out here when these girls put on their batting helmets, and all you can see is the blonde braid poking out the back.
Half the team is blonde braid.
She swings and misses for strike one. Fouls the second pitch off for strike two. So Kincaid throwing well, but very hittable pitch, as Armstrong proved. She only swung at 2 pitches, and she drilled them both.
Romrell capable of doing the same thing.
Yes, we've seen her hit a home run this year in Marsh Valley.
She had a 2-run hit yesterday, 2-run double yesterday in Preston.
Swing and a miss at that one, though. That was up in the zone. She offered at it, and
we jinxed her.
yeah, we did.
Sorry, Cambria.
It brings left fielder Peyton Crockett to the plate. Crockett wasn't here the other day in American Falls when we brought you that game. She's back today after taking some time off her spring break. And she takes, strike. That was a late call. He called it a strike.
Looked like a strike.
That's one that to Morgan is a ball, but to Peyton it's a strike.
That's right. That's right.
And strike two, swing and a miss on that one. So she watched strike one go past, and then she was fooled on strike two. Foul tipped it into the glove. But the current count is 0-2. Foul tipped that one back to the screen. So the count remains 0-2. Armstrong still down at second base. After that leadoff double that should have been a leadoff home run, she missed it by just about 6 inches. Without any wind at all today, that one's probably out. The wind's not that strong, but that's how close it was. Another one fouled off. She's just barely underneath these last two. If she can get a little bit lower on that ball, it's going to fly. So the 0-2 pitch coming with 1 out and runner at second. Bears need some runs to fight back into this one after 5-run first inning for Teton. And that one's up in the zone. We talked yesterday about how good a job the catcher did in the baseball game. That's one where the catcher, knowing that she's got a runner at third with the high pitch, she stood up to make sure she caught that. As soon as she does that, it's automatically going to be a ball, even though it didn't miss by that much. And Crockett drills it to left field, but right to the left fielder. Armstrong has to stay at second base. So the line drive would have gone to the fence, but it's just a long out. A great hit by Crockett just right at the left fielder. So this brings up Fisher, the pitcher, batting cleanup for the Bears. Swing and a miss at that one. So when the Bears have caught up to Kincaid, they've hit the ball hard. Leadoff double for Armstrong. And then that hard line drive out by Crockett. Fisher, that one's in the dirt. Great stop by the catcher to keep Armstrong at second base. That's Webster. She was able to keep that one in her glove, which saved a base, which obviously potentially a run. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. And strike 2, swinging. Swing and a miss. So Fisher with a 2-strike count looking to not leave Morgan Armstrong stranded at second after she got on with the leadoff double. And she strikes out. That'll end the inning. And a leadoff double goes for naught. 2 strikeouts and a hard line drive out. And the Bears trail at 5-0 after 1. We'll be back with the second inning on the SVI Sports Network.
Live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports on the SVI Sports Network is presented by Southeast Idaho Steel, a locally owned business making locally produced steel signs and fixtures. Flying S Title and Escrow, whatever it takes. Stephen Hammond Dental, local family dentistry. Gary Tusher CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll, here to help. And by Lenhart Beverages, proud to support the Bear Lake Bears.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and We try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign the papers and they leave and they're happy, they get their house. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
Ace is the place for the helpful hardware, folks. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware, folks. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware, folks. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Bears trail the Teton Red Wolves by a score of 5-0.
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. I'll get it. Timberwolves by a score of 5-0 after one inning. The Timberwolves sent 9 batters to the plate in the first inning. The Bears send 4. Leadoff double by Armstrong goes for naught as Kincaid pitched her way out of the inning with 2 strikeouts. And Kincaid will be the leadoff hitter. She had a swinging bunt slap hit to lead off the game in her first at bat. Takes strike 1. Great pitch there from Fisher. She kept it on the outside part of the plate, which is what you want to do to a slapper. It's harder for them to reach those outside pitches. Here's pitch number 2, and that's going to be a slap to the second baseman up and not in time though. Infield single. Kincaid absolutely flies.
She is fast. Yep.
And that was a legitimate infield single. Nothing done wrong there by Bear Lake. Good play by Bentley. She came up with it clean on the backhand, turned and fired, but just not in time as Kincaid just flies down there. She'll probably steal on this pitch, and she does. And the throw is high. Great backup there by Price. This is the pitch, the throw down, sailed into center field, but Price was there. Even a perfect throw doesn't get her right there. As Kincaid gets the steal. So 1 ball, no strikes, runner at second. Here's the pitch. That's a called strike, so 1-1. Kincaid absolutely flies down that line. Webster, the catcher, now the batter. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be a line drive. It's going to get past the outfield to the fence, and Webster's headed for 3, and she'll be in there with a triple. And that's just a line drive that ricochets to the fence, scores the run. So the triple by Webster, and it's 6-0. This brings Eden to the plate with a runner at third. Ground ball, Armstrong up with it over to first, but not, it would have been in time, but it was dropped by Beard. She had to make a long stretch to get there, and she couldn't bring it in cleanly. And the error allows the run to score and no out. Hansen, who had the home run in her last at bat, and that was just off the glove of Armstrong and into left center field. Armstrong jumped, but the line drive tips off the top of her glove and is a single to left center. It's 1 ball. So runners at first and second now, and Williamson, the shortstop, at the plate. And she was the one that reached on that third strike, that drop third strike that would have been the second out of the inning. And there's a called strike on pitch number 1. So she struck out in her first at bat, but she reached base safely on the drop third strike. So it was no balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. And she's going to pop fly that one foul, out of play. So 0-2 is the count. And now with a runner on first, if it's a drop third strike, the batter's out anyway. So let's see if we can strike her out and it actually count this time. Fisher comes to the plate, and it's a foul ball. Missed by about 3 feet down that left field line. Would have probably been a run-scoring single at least. But instead, it's just a foul ball. So still 0-2. Fisher comes to the plate. Foul ball. Again, this one missed by a little bit further, but same place, same result.
If I was sitting down that third base line, I'd be a little nervous. They're coming in hard.
She's way out in front, and she's down 0-2. So if I'm coach right here, I call a pitch, a change up on the outside corner, maybe outside and a little bit low is where you want this pitch, because she's been way out in front and she's down 0-2. If she offers it that, it's hard for her to get around on it. Comes inside with it, and she takes for ball one. Good pitch, kept it low, and kept it inside, which would have been, if she would have swung at it, probably would have been just another foul ball. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And that's the pitch I wanted right there. The changeup on the outside corner. She let it go, and she's called out on strikes. This time she is out. As last time she was able to reach on that drop third strike. And Wambacher drew a walk in the first inning. And she's going to hit a ground ball easy out at third for Romrell. She just settles for 1.
Probably best on that one.
Yet could have tried maybe for the double play. She decides just to get the 1 and be safe. So 2 outs. Runner still at first and second, and Strong, the batter. And she grounds it foul. Strong grounded out to the pitcher in her first at bat. It did score a run on that ground out. So if runners at first and second, 2 runs have already scored in the inning, but there are 2 outs. This is the 7th batter of the inning. They sent 8 batters to the plate in the first inning. They've sent 7 so far to the plate in this inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And foul ball. This one popped out of play. So 0-2. And in this case, she's a little bit behind the pitch. She's fouling it off to the right side, to the left side, so maybe you come inside with a fastball. Fisher pitches another one, and it's another foul ball. And again, down that right side, out of play. So again, with her being behind the pitch and fouling everything off down that right side. Inside fastball. Oh, just high, but a stolen base. Both runners score. Advance. Don't mean score. Both runners advance. With 2 outs, Bears played it safe. So 2-2 count. Just missed. Ball 3, so now full count. First base is open, so you don't have to give her anything too good to hit. You don't want to throw a ball away, but you don't want to give her a meatball down the middle. You do have a place to put her with first base open. And it's just a little half line drive, half pop fly into the mitt of the first baseman, Callie Beard, for out number 3. We'll be back with the bottom of the second after this on the SVI Sports Network.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reynolds. I work here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. I'm a family physician trained in rural family medicine, and then I also do sports medicine. I think what I want you to know more than anything else is that I'm here for you, that I take that duty to you very seriously, and I want to provide you with the information or the guidelines that you need to make a good decision, and that I have your best interest at heart.
Back at Bear Lake High School, first home game of the season, and so far it's been all Teton. They lead 7-0 after 1.5 innings. Only scored 2 that inning after scoring 5 in the first, but the Bears have yet to score. The lead-off single, a lead-off double by Armstrong to start the game for the Bears. And now Humphrey stands in there, and she takes ball 1. Humphrey's the catcher today. She takes high for ball 2. So the Bears have hit the ball hard twice in the game. One was a line out, one was a double, but nothing to show for it. And then 2 strikeouts were the other 2 outs. Ball 3. So 3-0. And Humphreys showing a lot of patience up there. Now ahead in the count, 3-0. And she's going to walk on 4 straight. They're not missing by much, but missing nonetheless. And it's a 4-pitch walk. That brings Brittany Pope, who's playing center field today, to the plate with the catcher Humphreys over at first. And Humphreys got some speed. I don't know if she's got Kincaid speed, but she can run. Pope squares to bunt, fouls it off, back out of play for strike 1. And that's one where she just got a little bit underneath it. When you get underneath it on a bunt, you hope it goes where it did, clear out of play, because if it doesn't, it could be a double play in a hurry, because she was trying to bunt her teammate over to second base. Let's see if she's bunting again. And she is, and this time she gets it down. Great bunt this time. Up with it into first in time, but Humphreys will advance to second.
Great job by Pope to advance her runner.
So the sacrifice bunt, as Kincaid made a good play to get the out, does advance Humphreys. So now for the second inning in a row, the Bears have a runner at second. Bentley Price now coming to the plate for the Bears, a second baseman. She takes a strike. Good pitch from Kincaid. Strike 1. And throw down to second, not in hot time. Humphreys is back. This Teton team is very aggressive.
Yep.
Their pitcher and the catcher are good athletes. They run fast and they throw hard. Swing and a miss there by Price. No throw to second this time. So 0-2 is the count. Ball 1. The catcher pops up fast and gets the ball very quickly back to the pitcher, so the batter cannot be, and the base runners can't be too aggressive. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And that's going to bring Brooklyn Crockett to the plate as the batter. She pitched the game yesterday against Preston and got the win. She takes strike 1. And again, after getting the leadoff runner on board and getting her over to second, the Bears in danger of not being able to advance her. And that is another strike. Humphreys dies back again. So 0-2 count very quickly on Crockett, with Humphreys at second after the leadoff walk. And there's a ball for ball one. Just missed outside. That's the pitch you want thrown right there if you're Kincaid. Make her think about it. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. That'll end the inning. We'll be back with the third right after this.
At Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine, it's not only about mining phosphate for production of crop nutrients that support western U.S. farmers and ranchers. It's about supporting our employees, neighbors, and local communities and their families. From providing quality competitive jobs to being an active partner in our local communities. Simplot Smoky Canyon Mine. Passion for people and supporting local families by bringing Earth's resources to life.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug. Live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports on the SVI Sports Network is presented by Southeast Idaho Steel, a locally owned business making locally produced steel signs and fixtures. Flying S title and escrow, whatever it takes. Stephen Hammond Dental, local family dentistry. Gary Tusher CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll, here to help. And by Lenhart Beverages, proud to support the Bear Lake Bears.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign papers and then they leave and they're happy, they get their house. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
Bottom of the third inning, and the Bears send their number 9 hitter to the plate, Callie Beard, her first plate appearance. The Teton Timberwolves have batted around twice in the game already, and this is just batter number 9 of the game for the Bears. And she takes strike one. So Kincaid has thrown the ball well. When the Bears got the bat on it, it has flown. Morgan Armstrong missed a leadoff home run by about 6 inches. And swing and a miss there. But they haven't got their bat on very many. Several strikeouts already in the game. And Beard down 0-2 here. Armstrong, who had that leadoff double, is on deck. That one's fouled straight back. Just protecting the plate right there. That was the top of the zone. She wanted to make sure she didn't strike out. So she got a bat on it, fouled it off. Way to battle. Here's the 0-2 pitch again. And that one's in the dirt for ball one. Kincaid has thrown well, but that one looked like it kind of slipped out of her hands. And that's one, if you're Beard, you maybe step back and take that one. get a free base out of it.
I'm pretty sure if you get hit, you get a base, but you shouldn't if you step into it on purpose.
Oh, I've seen kids do it.
Oh, me too.
And some umpires don't give it to them, others do. That one's outside.
I've seen them also lay about down on the ground just to try to get a ball call.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Outside, just
that
missed.
Was close.
That's where she wanted it. She was hoping Callie would go out after it, but Beard lays off. And so now the count is full. Good at bat for Beard. She fell down 0-2, and now she's worked the count full, 3-2. Leadoff walk would be helpful here. And she's not going to get it.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good pitch, and that will strike out Beard. And Armstrong, who swung the bat twice at her first at-bat. Both of them were line drives. The second one hit the top of the fence, and she got a double out of it, is back at the plate with 1 out. And she foul tips that one. She is swinging with everything she's got. She's got the timing on Kincaid. The rest of the Bear Lake Bears have struggled a little bit, but Armstrong has the timing and just fouled that one off. I'm swinging a miss there. So she's down 0-2 quickly. Morgan is a very aggressive swinger. She's always looking to put the ball in play. And she's down 0-2 here. She's got to protect the plate a little bit. And she's going to foul that one off. Just off the end of the bat, trickles over to the backstop. Still remains an 0-2 count. Shortstop, one of the pitchers for the Bear Lake Bears, senior leader on this team. Great young lady. And she's going to take that one for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on and 1 out. The Bears have had base runners in both innings, but have not been able to get the runner past second base. In fact, it's been the leadoff batter in innings 1 and 2 that got to second base. Oh, that one's way high, ball 2. But after the leadoff double in the first inning, 1-2-3. After the leadoff walk in the second inning, 1-2-3. So 2 balls, 2 strikes for Armstrong. Kincaid set to deliver. And that one's going to be a foul ball and an error on Coach Pope down there at third base. I'll have to tell him that's how that scored right there is an error for sure.
You know, if that would have been you would have dove into the dugout.
If that would have been me, I'd have just stepped out of the way without a doubt. I had too many of those that I reached for, and there's another foul back to the backstop. Too many of those I thought, oh, I can stop that, reach down, and yeah, if you don't get it just right, the finger gets in the way. It doesn't feel good. So I learned very early in my coaching career to let that one go to the left fielder. So 2-2 still the count. Battle between Armstrong and Kincaid. And that one's fouled back out of play into the other diamond.
Staying alive here.
That's what you do as a batter. You keep fouling them off until you get your pitch or you get a walk. And regardless of how this one ends, it's been a good at bat for Armstrong as she's been battling up there. Started out 0-2, and that was 2-2 with several foul balls. Oh, yeah. That was a beautiful pitch.
Shoot.
That was a changeup that looked like it was going to be high, dropped right in there. And that was just a great pitch there by Kincaid. It brings Romrell to the plate. She struck out at her first at-bat. Let's see what she can do in her second plate appearance. She takes high for ball one. I like this umpire. He's been very visually helpful.
Yes.
In his pitch calls.
Fantastic. We can tell immediately what that call is.
Ball two. That one was outside. Sometimes from this far away, if it's a good pitch, you can't really tell, but he always indicates why he called it a ball. Up, high, low, swing and a miss.
She was just over the top of that one.
2 balls, 1 strike. 2 out, nobody on. Romrell, the number 2 hitter in the lineup and the third baseman today for the Bears at the plate. And she's going to foul that one out of play. So the Bears are fouling off a lot of pitches, just haven't been able to put them in fair territory much in this game. And she fouls that one over into the other diamond. So 2-2. 2's all around, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And there's another foul ball. Only 21 pitches total thrown by Kincaid, if my pitch count on here is accurate. And she's almost out of the third inning. Another foul ball. So the Bears are working the count in this inning. Beard worked it full. Armstrong worked it to 2-2. It's 2-2 now to Romrell. But another strikeout, 3 strikeouts in the inning. Bears go down 1-2-3. We'll be back with the 4th after this on the SVI Sports Network.
With the helpful hardware, folks.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit You Save Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
So pitching change, the Bears bring in Morgan Armstrong from the shortstop position to pitch. That will move Peyton Crockett from left field to shortstop. That will move DeClark from right field to left field. And Amanda Jean Saxton will come off the bench and play left field.
Right field.
Right field, sorry, right field. I know what I'm saying. And first pitch swinging, it's going to be to the fence. It's going to be a double. And a great hit there by Eden, the first baseman. She popped out and grounded out her first 2 plate appearances. She fly ball double to start the 4th inning. First pitch, strike to Hansen. Hansen already has a home run in this game. It was against the first pitcher, Fisher. Armstrong. Low and in the dirt, and that's going to advance the runner. As Humphreys unable to come up with it on the low pitch. And the runner, Eden, advances to third. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ground ball to the shortstop, Crockett, over to first in time for the out. But it is going to score a run. So Crockett with the long throw does get the out, but the run scores. It's 8-0 after the leadoff double. Williamson, the batter, takes inside for ball 1. She reached on a drop third strike that actually couple of runs scored after that, and she struck out. So she's struck out twice in the game. She flies to right field, Saxton there to make the out. So Saxton records the out. Ground ball to third to Romrell. It is fair, and it is an out at first. So after getting the leadoff double, they score a run. And the Bears trail it 8-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit You Save Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now.
Crockett, the batter, takes strike 1 high in the zone. She had hit a hard line drive to left field her first at bat, but right at the left fielder. So she is 0 for 1 in the game. And she fouls that one back off the screen. A lot of foul balls for the Bears in this game. They just haven't been able to put the ball in play in fair territory very often. A lot of strikeouts. Great pitching by Kincaid. And the Bears trail at 8-0. And a swing and a miss. Struck her out. That was a drop ball, a little bit of a changeup. That's the same pitch she got Armstrong on. Armstrong's, though, started high and dropped out of the zone, dropped into the zone. That one started low and dropped out of the zone. And substitution, Saxton will bat in the position that Fisher was hitting in. So Amanda Saxton will be batting. The lefty, the junior, recorded that final out in the last inning in right field. Swing and a miss at the first pitch. And a swing and a miss at pitch number 2. Couple of good cuts at it. She's just a little bit behind the, and down 0-2 very quickly. Kincaid comes to the plate. That one's low and away for ball 1. Kincaid, very effective pitcher. She's got a couple good strikeout pitches. Her changeup has been effective in this game at getting some strikeouts. Let's see if she goes to it right here. Nope. Fastball, outside corner, called strike 3. So 2 up, 2 down, and Abby Humphreys, the catcher for the Bears, coming to the plate. Humphreys has had a decent day behind the plate. She's 0 for 1 in the game. Takes that one low for ball 1. Actually, no, she walked in her first at bat, so she's 0 for 0. She has not yet. And then the line drive
Good
single just between the shortstop and the third baseman. So she gets a line drive single, and the Bears have a base runner. So Humphreys has been to the plate twice. She's been on base twice in this game. Center fielder Brooklyn Pope coming to the plate with a runner on first, but 2 out. She bunted Humphreys over in her first at bat, but with 2 out, she can't do that here. So she'll be swinging away. So she's 0 for 0. With the sacrifice, it doesn't count against your batting average. She takes the called strike there. So no balls, 1 strike, 2 out, runner at first. And that one's high. Good stop there by the catcher, Webster. That would have let Humphreys get to second base, as she had to almost jump to catch that from her sitting position, the squatting position. She made a good play there. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss for strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at first for the Bears. Bears have not been able to find the plate. They've had runners in 3 of the 4 innings. And Humphreys goes on the play in the dirt, but then she decides to go back, and the good thing she does, she probably would have been out. She makes it back to first base after the good throw. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Runner still at first as Humphreys was able to make it back. The shortstop bobbled it a little bit. I think Humphreys would have still been out if she would have kept coming to second. And a ground ball to the first baseman. She makes a good play. Out at first for out number 3. We'll be back with the top of the 5th right after this.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
Strong in the circle for her second inning work. The Bears trail at 8-0. Bears gave up 5 runs in the first inning, have settled in and only given up 3 in the 3 innings since. Bears have put base runners on in 3 of their 4 innings, but have yet to advance one past second base. As 2 of those 3 innings, it was the leadoff runner that reached base, but the Bears have been unable to get him around, including after the leadoff double should have been a leadoff home run by Morgan Armstrong in the first inning. Meanwhile, lots has gone well for the Teton Timberwolves Strong at the plate. She's 0 for 2. Make it 0 for 3. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. Armstrong over to first in time. So she's grounded out to the pitcher twice. She popped out to the third baseman, and she is retired for the third time. Armstrong made that look really easy. Came up with it, just kind of tossed it gently over there to first base. And that brings up Green. And Green, actually no, is not Green. Green pinch ran for Hatch. So Hatch back in there now. I believe maybe this is still Green, because this is a lefty, so we're going to pretend it's still Green. Maybe she stayed in there after she pinch ran. She took ball 1. Now she takes ball 2. And she's a lefty, and Hatch was not. So I'm going to guess it's still Green because I didn't see him re-enter Hatch. And she pops that one back out of play. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Yep, she finally turned enough. I could see her back. She does have number 2 on, so it is Green still at the plate. Her first plate appearance in the game after subbing in to pinch run for Hatch in the last inning. That one's in the dirt for ball 3. So 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. First pitch of the inning was an out. Since then, it's a 3-1 count to the lefty Green. Batting in the number 8 spot. And she takes that one, must have been high for ball 4. So that brings up Chavez, the left fielder. She's batting 9th. She's 0 for 2. And both have been fly balls. Once to the right fielder, once to the center fielder. She's 0 for 2 on the game. She has a runner at first. And that one's a ball. So after getting an out on the first pitch, 5 of the next 6 pitches have been called balls. That's a swing and a miss. Good pitch there. Caught her off balance. She was way out in front. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, 1 on. 8-0 lead for Teton here. In the top of the 5th, that one just misses for ball 2. Bit breezy. And underneath this canopy that we have given to shade so we can see the computer screen, with that breeze, it's cool. Sun has gone behind the clouds, but still a gorgeous day. Ball 3, so 3 balls, 1 strike. After getting the first batter out, Armstrong in danger of walking the next 2, but she does get the ground ball to second for the out. Nice play there by Crockett to get the out at second on the fielder's choice. Price smartly did not try to turn the double play there, as Kincaid now the batter. She is 2 out of 3, couple of infield singles, and she hits herself with that one. Fouls it, bounces up, hits her in the knee for a foul ball. She is fast. The ball doesn't have to go very far. She has had 2 infield singles, and the third one she was just barely out. She takes that one for a ball. Good stop there by Humphreys to keep the runner, Chavez, at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, 1 runner on at first base. And that one's a ball. So Armstrong trying to keep it high and away from her so she can't put it on the ground, which is what she's trying to do, but has missed on the last 2. So with 2 balls and a strike, Armstrong getting set. Here's the pitch, ball 3. Webster, the catcher, in the on-deck circle. If Kincaid gets herself on, and she's up 3-1. Already 1 walk in the inning. Here's the pitch. Oh, it's going to be a slap hit into center field for a single. Just stuck her bat out there, slapped it into center field. And now runners at first and second for Webster. Webster in the game has walked, tripled, driving in a couple runs, and has a ground out. The triple was against Fisher when she was pitching. She takes that one high for ball 1. The ground out was her last time facing Armstrong. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Just missed on that one for ball 2. The 2-0 pitch from Armstrong is going to be a home run. As it's right, just missed us.
How many?
And that's going to score 3. Teton to Clark, the left fielder, hits into the fence trying to get to it, but could not. Hope she's okay. I think
it stunned her a minute, but she says she's okay. She thumbed up.
So Webster with the 3-run home run makes it 11
I think she
to 0.
I think she hit her mouth on the fence.
She's looking at her elbow too.
Yeah, she hit hard. Good effort by her though.
Coach Quinn Pope's gonna come out and talk to her, and she's like, "I'm fine, Coach. Get out of here. You're embarrassing me."
She's like, "Oh my gosh, don't draw more attention to it, please." She made a great play on the ball.
Yeah,
she really did. That was great effort.
And she was looking at the ball, not the fence, and that's why she ran into it. But she's fine. And this conversation is exactly that. Coach, I'm fine. I'm up. Go back to the dugout. And she's describing how she hit. She's like, "Coach, I'm fine. Go away." Anyway, and I do honestly believe she's fine. I wouldn't be laughing if I didn't think she was.
She's a tough girl anyway.
And Coach Pope trots back to the infield. He's going to talk to the umpire, say she's good.
She's good. She just wants to keep playing.
The sophomore speedster, and she flies.
Yeah, she's a good ball player.
And she's not hitting today, but when she gets on base, she can absolutely fly. She's got the kind of speed Kincaid has shown today.
Mm-hmm.
And quite a player. Sophomore already getting some starting time in the outfield and doing a good job. All right, Eden to the plate. Eden is 1 out of 3 in the game. She's popped out, grounded out, and had a fly ball double on her last plate appearance. Takes that one high for ball 1. And that ball didn't clear the fence by much, so I can understand why she thought she could get to it.
Mm-hmm.
It just barely got out of here. 2 balls, no strikes. After giving up a home run, the pitchers usually get a little bit skittish in that one. And you can tell she's trying really hard not to give her anything too easy to hit. The lefty, Eden, swings and misses that one. That was a great pitch, that changeup on the inside corner. Eden way out in front of it. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And that's a home run. 3 home runs on the game, all to different batters.
We heard they were hitters.
Wow.
They're proving it.
And that was a good pitch. That was a changeup on the inside corner, and she just got around on it and took it out to right field. 12-0 after what looked like it could be a good inning for the Bears. They had 2 outs and hadn't given up any runs, and then 4 straight 2-out rally on a couple of home runs, back-to-back home runs. And in case you're wondering if it gets better, the other home run in the game is by the current batter, Hansen. She had a home run against Fisher earlier in the game. She's 2 out of 3 on the day with that home run. And this is a high pop fly. DeClark going to use that speed. And doesn't get to it. And I think she thought Crockett was there. She pulled up at the last second. And the ball hits the ground. So it goes as a double for Hansen. And I don't know, she pulled up at the very last second. I thought DeClark might make it there, but I think she heard the footsteps of Crockett coming out from that shortstop position. And the steal of third on ball 1. So Williamson, who's 0 for 3 on the day, she has yet to reach base safely, is going to pop it up out of play for strike one. Actually, she did reach base safely on a strikeout. The drop third strike, which actually ended up 3 runs scored after that. And she's going to hit safely here. She drives it into left field. DeClark comes up with it quickly in to hold it to a single, but it is a run-scoring single on the line drive to left field. That puts the score to 13-0, and Wambacher is going to pop it up, and Beard can't quite get to it at the fence. That's one of those that the fence is right there, and you start to stutter step. It would have been a difficult play anyway, and she doesn't quite get there. It's just a foul ball. Without a fence, with the fence like 10 feet further back, she probably catches that one.
Mm-hmm.
But with the fence there, I don't blame her, especially after seeing her teammate whack into the fence already in the inning. So 0-1 count, and that one's a ball. Wambacher in the game has a walk and 2 groundouts to third in the game. So she's 0 for 2 with a walk. And she takes ball high. 2 balls and a strike. Now to the third baseman, number 6 hitter Wambacher with a runner at first and 2 outs in a 13-0 game. Teton having a good game at the plate, and she takes high for ball 3. Strong, the second baseman, on deck for the Timberwolves. Ball 4. So Wambacher watches 4 fly by her after fouling 1 off, and that brings the second baseman Strong to the plate. She's 0 for 3 on the day. She's grounded out to the pitcher twice and popped out to the third baseman in her other at-bat. And she pops over into the dugout for a foul ball on the first pitch. Caught the attention of her teammates over there in the dugout. And that's, a steal. It was a ball and a steal of third. And the Bears thought they had the out. But Williamson is called safe. And Wambacher moves to second. So now runners in scoring position. Ground ball to shortstop, over to first in time to end the inning. So the stolen bases don't hurt as the ground ball out. Great play, backhand, and nice throw by Crockett. Retires the side, but not before 5 runs across the plate for the Red Wolves. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Bears trail at 13-0. They've got to score at least 3 or this one will end. We'll be back with that bottom of the 5th right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
Hi, I'm Dr. Reynolds. I work here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. I'm a family physician trained in rural family medicine, and then I also do sports medicine. I think what I want you to know more than anything else is that I'm here for you, that I take that duty to you very seriously, and I want to provide you with the information or the guidelines that you need to make a good decision, and that I have your best interest at heart.
Bears have got to score 3 here to stay alive in this game. They trail 13-0 on the bottom of the 5th as they have struggled to get anything going in this game. And the junior second baseman. There's going to be a lot of defensive substitutions for Teton. I'll tell you who they are when they come to the plate if I can figure it out, because their backs are to me. I can't see numbers. But Kincaid is still the pitcher and Webster still the catcher, and those have been the two that have been important in this game. Bentley Price, the second baseman for the Bears, at the plate. And she is 0 for 1 in the game. She takes high for ball 1. Her first at-bat was a strikeout. Bears haven't even batted around twice in this game, and Kincaid has come to the plate 4 times for Teton, and she throws that one past Price, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Bears need some base runners. They got to have some points to stay alive. Ball 2. And if I'm Kincaid right here, I come right at the Bears, they got to score 3 to even stay alive, 4 to stay alive in the game. 3 would just still make it a 10-run game. Swing and a miss. So the Bears have got to send at least 4 batters to the plate, and that's if they all hit home runs in this inning. And Bears have only had 4 base runners in the game. But they've all been in, and there's a called strike, struck her out. They've all been in different innings. The Bears have yet to send two runners on the bases in the same inning. Humphreys has been on base twice with the walk and a single. Armstrong, the leadoff, led the game off with a double. And that's been pretty much it. Brooklyn Crockett, who's 0 for 1 and is now playing third base. I mean, no, she's the designated hitter today, called strike. And she struck out her first at-bat. Swing and a miss again. Kincaid seems to be getting stronger as this game goes on. The first inning, the Bears hit her well, just couldn't do anything with it after the double off the fence and the line drive right to the left fielder. Since then, they haven't really done much, and ooh, just missed on that one. It dropped out of the zone. That's that pitch that she tries to get you to offer on, that changeup out that drops, the bottom drops out of it, and Crockett laid off. But she doesn't lay off that one, struck her out, swing and miss. So the Bears down to their last out, and it's going to be up to sophomore Callie Beard to extend this game. If she can get herself on base, the Bears are alive. If not, this one will end. And the ball, that one's low, ball 1. Beard struck out in her only at-bat. Armstrong, who's had a decent day at the plate, will be up next. She's 1 out of 2 with that double off the fence. Beard line drives it into right field. She gets a single. Nice hit by Callie Beard. A line drive right past the first baseman into right field.
That's exactly what the Bears needed. Now if they can build off of that.
Armstrong in the first inning, the ball ricocheted off the yellow, would have been a home run instead. And Maddie Michael, the speedster freshman, is going to come in and pinch run for Callie Beard. Armstrong was 6 inches away from a leadoff home run for the Bears. Went as a double instead, and now her bat is what's going to keep the Bears alive. Ooh.
That looked inside. Woo.
Called strike on the inside corner, we guess, because we all thought it was going to be inside.
Mm-hmm.
Even Ray, our expert cameraman, called that pitch inside. And there's a ground ball single, so it didn't matter.
Good job.
Armstrong keeps the ball, puts the ball into left field. The single keeps the Bears alive.
We need a 2-out rally right here. We've started off well.
And a couple of strikeouts for Romrell, so she'd like to change her fortunes on the day, which would keep the Bears alive if she can put one in play. Called strike. Outside corner, good pitch, and a good frame by the catcher. It was just on the outside corner. So Romrell down 0-1. She's got to reach base safely. The Bears are going to stay alive, and she swings and misses for strike 2. So the Bears down to their final strike of the game. If Romrell can find a way to reach base, it'll bring Peyton Crockett to the plate. If not, this game will end, and that one's a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Crockett on her first at-bat drilled one, but it went right to the left fielder for an out. And that'll end the game. Swing and a miss. So the Bears lose it 13-0. Great game by Teton. Their pitcher Kincaid was the hero on both sides. If we were going to give a steel man of the game for Teton, it would definitely be Kincaid, the pitcher, as she had a great game. The Bears, if you're going to give a steel man of the game, I guess Morgan Armstrong for that leadoff double. Woulda, coulda, shoulda have been a leadoff home run. But the Bears lose this one 13-0. Tough loss, but it's out of district. This one doesn't matter. Matters for the Max Preps rankings, but this is about what was supposed to happen according to Max Preps. Teton was an 11-point favorite coming into the game. They won it by 13. And the Bears back in action right here tomorrow. Snake River coming to town, and that's a big one. That one is district, and if the Bears can get the win, they will go to 5-0 in district play. And that's huge because the district champion from the regular season hosts the district tournament. The Bears would love nothing more than for the district tournament to be right here at their home field. And we're not going to wait for Coach Quinn Pope because I'm sure he doesn't want to say much after this one. So we're just going to thank Ray for all his work setting up the camera and doing not a lot of moving around, but getting it set up and getting it going is a big job here for softball and baseball. And thank you for listening. Thank all of our sponsors. And we'll see you tomorrow. And thank you, Lisa, for making us look good by pushing all the buttons. And for everybody else on the SVI Sports Network, this is
Lisa Hillier
and Jared Hillier saying good night, everybody.